Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are taking on George Orwell's Animal Farm. But we're not here for a simple literary critique. We're using this novel as a manual.
Exactly. Almost like a playbook.
A playbook for understanding the precise mechanics of how political power gets consolidated.
That is the mission. We are tracking the rapid and, frankly, brutal transformation of an idealist revolution into just an entrenched tyranny. And we're sticking entirely to the text. We're just extracting the specific, insidious steps the new leaders took to control the narrative, crush dissent, and basically rewrite history, chapter by chapter. For you, the learner, this is a masterclass in how power works.
Okay, so let's set the stage. Where does this all begin? We have Manor Farm, run by Mr. Jones, and his defining characteristic is just simple negligence.
He's a drunk, he's careless, he forgets to feed the animals, the place is ripe for revolution.
And that misery creates the opening for Old Major, the prize boar.
And he delivers this foundational thesis. His message is so simple and powerful. An animal's life is miserable because man is the only real enemy. Man consumes, he doesn't produce. And from that springs the entire blueprint for their utopia.
A utopia built on one single principle.
All animals are equal. That's it. That's the core.
And he gives them these very clear rules, doesn't he? To avoid becoming like their oppressor.
Oh, absolutely. The rules are crucial. Never live in a house, never sleep in a bed, no clothes, no alcohol, and the big one. No animal must ever kill another animal. It's a vision of, pristine equality.
But even before the revolution happens, you can see the first crack forming.
You can. After Old Major dies, the leadership just defaults to the pigs. Because they're the cleverest. And that's where we meet the three key players.
First, there's Snowball. He's the vivacious, brilliant organizer. He's the one who actually develops Old Major's ideas into a formal system called animalism.
Then you have his rival, Napoleon.
Yeah.
The big, fierce-looking boar who's quiet but has this reputation for getting his own way.
And then the third, and maybe the most important one, Squealer.
Squealer is the tool, the ultimate tool. He's a brilliant talker. And Orwell says he's able to turn black into white. He's the original spin doctor, and he is absolutely essential to Napoleon's rise.
The actual rebellion, though, it's not some grand planned event. It's spontaneous.
It's messy. Jones gets drunk, forgets to feed them. His men whip the animals, and they just snap. They drive the humans out.
And you get this incredible, visceral moment of liberation. They burn the whips, the reins, all the tools of their enslavement. And Boxer, the workhorse.
Now, that moment with Boxer is perfect.
Yeah.
He throws his straw hat on the fire. Just this simple hat, but it was a badge of slavery.
Yeah.
It's this act of pure revolutionary joy.
And that pure moment leads to them writing their laws on the barn wall. 7 commandments.
Which are supposed to be the unalterable law. This is their constitution, written to ensure they never, ever become the thing they just overthrew.
So a perfect egalitarian start. But then we get to the first summer, and things immediately start to shift.
They do. On the surface, it's a huge success, the golden summer. They get the harvest in faster than Jones ever did. And it's all thanks to the incredible labor of animals like Boxer.
And his new motto.
His personal motto, I will work harder. He's the true believer, the unshakable faith of the working class, all in one horse.
But at the same time, the pigs are already separating themselves. They're not working, are they?
No. They direct and supervise. They don't do any of the physical labor.
Right.
I mean, they justify it immediately. They have superior knowledge. It's the first violation of that core promise of equality.
And that creates the education gap. The pigs can read and write perfectly, but most of the other animals can't get past a few letters.
A gap which is, strategically useful. It lets Snowball simplify the entire complex doctrine of animalism into a single slogan. The sheep can just bleat mindlessly.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
Exactly. It's brilliant political engineering. You take a complex idea and boil it down to a chant. It removes all need for critical thought.
And that sets up the first real, tangible grab for power. The milk disappears.
The milk and the windfall apples, they just vanish.
Yeah.
And then it comes out. They're being reserved exclusively for the pigs.
Now, this is Squealer's first big moment. His propaganda masterstroke.
It really is. He doesn't hide it. He leans into it. He says, look, we pigs actually dislike milk and apples, but we're brain workers.
Of course.
And this food is absolutely necessary for our well-being. He even says it's proven by science.
And then he delivers the knockout blow, the line that ends all argument.
The line that will justify everything from this point on. Surely, comrades, you do not want Jones back. And just like that, it's over. Questioning the pig's privilege is now the same as wanting the old tyranny to return.
It's an incredible move. Any challenge is now framed as treason. So let's talk about the external pressures. The humans are getting scared.
They are. The idea of Animal Farm is spreading. And this leads to the first human attempt to retake the farm, the Battle of the Cowshed.
And this battle really shows the difference between Snowball and Napoleon.
A huge difference. Snowball has studied Julius Caesar's campaigns. He's on the front lines, leading the charge. He even gets wounded. He's a genuine war hero.
And Boxer is terrifyingly strong, but he's horrified when he thinks he's killed a stable lad.
He is. He says, I have no wish to take life, not even human life. It shows you that the true believers, they're still holding on to that original commandment.
But not everyone is a true believer. We lose Molly, the mare.
Yeah, Molly defects. She can't handle the austerity of the revolution. She wants her sugar and her ribbons. She chooses comfort over liberty and just disappears.
And that sets the stage for the big internal conflict, the windmill debate.
This is the critical split. Snowball, the idealist, the visionary, he has this incredible plan for a windmill.
It's not just a windmill. It's a technological revolution. Electricity, heat, a 3-day work week.
It's a vision of a prosperous future, but Napoleon argues against it. He says their only focus must be on increasing food production right now, the full manger.
But why did that argument win? Snowball's vision seems so much better.
Because it's long-term. Napoleon is a master of practicality, or at least the appearance of it. He pits Snowball's complex futuristic vision against the immediate, understandable fear of an empty stomach. And it works.
And just as the vote is about to happen, Napoleon makes his move.
The coup d'etat. He lets out this high-pitched whimper, and 9 enormous dogs, the puppies he'd secretly raised, burst into the barn.
And they chase Snowball right off the farm. They just eliminate the opposition physically.
And the change is instant. The Sunday meetings, the last little bit of democracy, they're abolished. All decisions are now made by a special committee of pigs with Napoleon in charge.
The structure of the tyranny is in place, and I think there's that chilling detail about the dogs.
Yes, they wag their tails for Napoleon the exact same way the other dogs used to for Mr. Jones. The cycle is already complete right there.
So you have the brute force, the dogs, but then Squealer comes in to clean it up, the narrative fixer.
Immediately. He's out there explaining that Snowball was a criminal, that bravery isn't enough, loyalty and obedience are what matter. He even starts to downplay Snowball's role in the Battle of the Cowshed.
And how does Boxer react to this, the most loyal animal of all?
It's tragic. He's confused, but he's unwilling to question the new leader. So he just adopts a second maxim to go with his first one.
Napoleon is always right.
And that blind loyalty becomes the engine for everything that follows.
And then the final stunning act of hypocrisy.
Napoleon announces the windmill will be built after all. And Squealer, without missing a beat, explains that this was Napoleon's idea all along.
He was never opposed to it.
Never. It was all just tactics. A clever plan to get rid of the dangerous influence of Snowball. He literally steals Snowball's idea and claims it as his own, while simultaneously branding Snowball a traitor. It's a total rewrite of history in real time.
And that systematic destruction of truth just accelerates, doesn't it? The animals are now working a 60-hour week.
Plus that voluntary Sunday work, with penalties if you refuse. And then Napoleon breaks one of the biggest original rules. He starts trading with humans.
Right, through a solicitor and Mr. Whymper. And when the animals kind of remember a rule against that...
Squealer just gaslights them.
Yeah.
He asks, have you any record of such a resolution? Is it written down anywhere? Of course it isn't. Their memory's faulty, they can't read well, so they doubt themselves.
Control the record, control reality. And then the pigs physically move into the farmhouse. They start sleeping in the beds.
Another broken rule. And when Clover, the mare, has someone read the 4th commandment for her, it's changed.
It now reads, no animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets.
And Squealer has the perfect explanation. A bed is just a place to sleep. A pile of straw is a bed. The sheets are the human invention. So the law bends to fit whatever the pigs need in that moment.
And they soon need a scapegoat. The first windmill gets destroyed in a storm.
A terrible gale. But Napoleon doesn't see a natural disaster. He sees an opportunity. He immediately gets up and blames the whole thing on Snowball.
Pronounces a death sentence on him.
Exactly. Snowball is now this invisible, all-powerful saboteur who is responsible for every single thing that goes wrong on the farm.
Which is convenient, because things are going very wrong. That winter, there's a famine.
A terrible famine. But Napoleon can't let the outside world know they're failing. So he puts on this elaborate show for the human solicitor.
Filling the food bins with sand and just putting a little grain on top.
Pure deception. Managing external perception while the animals starve. And that internal pressure cooker leads to violence.
The hen rebellion.
They refuse to give up their eggs for sale. So Napoleon starves them out. 9 hens die. It's the first time his regime has directly killed its own citizens for dissent.
And Snowball's legend as a villain just grows and grows.
It escalates. Now he's not just a saboteur. Squealer announces he was Jones's secret agent from the very start.
Even Boxer struggles with that one.
He does. Doesn't make sense to him. But Squealer tells him that Napoleon has stated categorically that it's true. And for Boxer, that's enough. He accepts it.
And that acceptance from the most loyal animal opens the door for the purges. The show trials.
This is the moment the revolution eats itself. Napoleon, with his dogs, demands confessions. 4 pigs who had protested his decisions confess to collaborating with Snowball.
And they're slaughtered on the spot, along with the hens from the rebellion and others.
Animal killing animal. It was unthinkable. And Clover has this heartbreaking realization that this was not what they had aimed at. The dream is dead.
And of course, the law has to be changed to match the crime.
The animals remember the 6th commandment. No animal shall kill any other animal. But when they checked the wall, there were 2 new words.
No animal shall kill any other animal without cause.
And Napoleon is the one who defines the cause. To complete the ideological wipe, he then bans the anthem, Beasts of England.
Why? Why get rid of the song?
Squealer's reason is that the song was for the rebellion. But the rebellion is completed, so it's no longer needed. It's a song of hope and longing, and you can't have that in a totalitarian state. You replace it with a song praising the leader.
The cult of personality. Our leader, Comrade Napoleon.
Father of all animals. Minimus the pig writes a poem about how great he is. All loyalty is now directed to the man, the pig, not the ideal.
So we see Napoleon try to play politics with the humans over a timber deal.
He tries to play Pilkington and Frederick off each other. He acts very clever, but then he gets completely duped. Frederick pays him with forged banknotes.
And then attacks the farm.
And in the Battle of the Windmill, they use blasting powder. They destroy the 2nd completed windmill. The animals fight back bravely, but the cost is immense.
And yet Squealer calls this devastating loss a victory.
His most audacious spin yet. A victory because they re-won the ground they were standing on. And to celebrate, the pigs find a case of whiskey in the farmhouse.
Which leads to yet another change to the law.
Of course. Squealer is found passed out near the barn wall with a ladder and a paint pot. A few days later, the 5th commandment has been amended. No animal shall drink alcohol to excess.
And now we get to what is, for me, the most brutal betrayal in the entire story. Boxer's fate.
It's the absolute emotional core of the book. Boxer, who gave everything, collapses from overwork. He's looking forward to his promised retirement.
And Napoleon says he's arranging for him to go to a hospital in Willingdon.
But Benjamin, the old cynical donkey who can read as well as any pig, sees the writing on the side of the van.
Alfred Simmons, horse slaughterer and glue boiler.
They're not sending him to a hospital. They're selling him to the knacker's yard. They are literally monetizing their most loyal, devoted follower.
And Squealer's lie about it is it's beyond belief.
He tells them Boxer died peacefully in the hospital, and his last words were, Napoleon is always right. And then he explains the van was recently bought by the vet, and they hadn't had time to repaint it. It's a lie so complete, so total, that the animals believe it.
And the pigs use the money they got from selling Boxer's body to buy another case of whiskey.
That's the final, chilling transaction. The price of their most loyal worker's life is a crate of alcohol.
And after that, years pass. The farm changes.
The memory of the rebellion jest. It fades into myth. The pigs start walking on their hind legs. They carry whips.
And the sheep, the echo chamber, are taught a new chant.
4 legs good, 2 legs better.
And then the final reveal in the barn wall. All 7 commandments are gone.
Replaced by just 1. The ultimate corruption of their original ideal. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
The final scene is just haunting. Napoleon, wearing a coat, carrying a whip, is hosting the human farmers, and they're congratulating him.
They praise him for making his animals work harder on less food than any other farm in the county. He's become the perfect tyrant. He even renames the farm back to its original name, the Manor Farm.
And the animals looking in through the window?
They look from pig to man, and from man to pig, and back again. But it was already impossible to say which was which. The revolution has come full circle and become the very thing it fought against.
The speed and precision of that decay is what's so shocking. Orwell lays out the methodology so clearly. Force from the dogs is important, but it's useless without the narrative control of Squealer.
That is the core lesson. It's about language and memory. Every single principle was broken, but it was justified by a readjustment of history, of law, of vocabulary. The whole system is built on the collapse of objective truth.
So what does this all mean for you? Orwell shows that the biggest threat to freedom isn't always that initial violent act. It's the slow, steady erosion of truth that follows. So here's the thought to leave you with. What political event, in history or even today, relied most heavily on Squealer's primary tactic, convincing people that their own miserable present is, in fact, a glorious victory?